Morning, folks. Welcome back to the California Mother Lode. We are in the Sierra foothills. We're back at the hole, and we're going to continue testing this spot and see what we're going to get. Anyhow, I got to get geared up first. Just want to thank my new subscribers for subscribing and making some comments. I really appreciate that. If you have questions, just ask. Don't hesitate. I'll be happy if I can help you. Help you out regarding metal detecting, and especially if you're a beginner, shoot some questions towards me. Maybe I could help out. Anyhow, let's get geared up. I got my knee pads. I brought my Garrett pinpointer. This is the original Garrett carrot. Of course, they're orange now. They do sell these still. They're a little bit of a reduced price. These are great pinpointers, just made solid. I've always liked it. Anyway, I got that. And let's get my gloves on. I rubbed some that pink stuff on my hands, just in case I get some poison oak oils on my hands so it doesn't irritate me. And I brought some buckets too. I brought 2 5-gallon buckets. We're going to be taking some samples of the soil, and then when we get back, we're going to run it through a sluice box today and see if we get any fine gold today. So that's something different, and curiosity needs to know. So as I get down lower and lower, I'm going to take buckets and I'm going to test the fines. It may be worthwhile to, there's another bucket right there. May be worthwhile to get a dry washer out there and run some material through there too for getting better gold. Anyhow, see you at the hole. This is my little trail to the work site. Hopefully my camera doesn't glitch today. It's going to be 93 or 94 today. And anyhow, I figured out how to take multiple videos, shorts, and paste them all together. Anyhow, this is the beginnings of the Lone Gold Miners project in this gully, Nugget Gully. As you see, right over there, I stopped because there's a lot of poison oak there. I am going to work all that. I'm going to work that tailing pile. I'm going to continue on. We're just on the other side of that, and over by that oak tree there, where many years ago I found some really good nuggets over there. So that's why I'm digging down. You may wonder sometimes, why am I digging? Why is he digging, not finding gold? But there's a reason to my madness. So it just goes back to, past experiences, what you find, and the hope of finding more. That hope never diminishes. Okay, there's our hole. Oh, look at that. It's getting deep down there. It's pretty steep. So there's a little tree here, a little sapling. We have to get around. Woo! All right. Let's find some shade. And let's put our detector down right over here. And we'll get back right to it. Let's put this down first. Okay. Let's take a look here. There's our wall. There's our tailing pile. And there's our hole. So I'm going to get down in there and start digging lower and lower. And then I'm thinking perhaps I may go 2 feet, 3 feet that way. Just open up the hole a little bit so I have more space in there. And then see what we get. All right. See you in the first target, folks. Now we're getting to some big rocks. I just pull it out of right there. And it's going to go right up over there. Build myself a longer wall. So eventually when I go over here, I could dump it material over there. So I'm just going to roll this sucker up top. Here you go. Just so you know, we're digging up some bigger boulders right here. It's going to be great for the wall buildup up there. And I'm going to scan this and see if we get a target. All right, let's fire up the detector. Do a quick tune by pressing that small little black button right there. And it takes about a minute. You'll hear 3 beeps at the end. Then what you do is you press the button right here, and then you do a couple pumps, ground balance it. Do not let go of the button. Set it steady. Do not let go of the button. Release the button, and then move it slowly. You're ready to go. Oh, just so some of yous, this is a MineLab 4500. On the front panel, I have my threshold around 2 o'clock. I like it nice and loud. I have it in general mode for search mode. My soil timings are in enhanced, and ground balance is fixed. So that's why I have to ground balance it often. I'm not on tracking. And I'm using a monocoil, not a double D, a monocoil. And the back panel, probably won't see it because of the sunlight. I generally have my gain at 13 to 14 and motion very slow because I move my coil very, very slow. And but you have to read your guidebook and start with the presets and work your way according to your ground soils in your area. And in time, just keep referencing the manual. And after a week or two, you'll get used to your metal detectors. All right, let's get down to it. See what we get. Okay, we have our first target right here. First target of the day. Let's get it in the scoop and we'll see what it is. Okay, we have it in the scoop. Small target. The spoon really helps a lot. I used to use my hands a lot. It just takes forever. You get the spoon, do it right from the start, and you'll have a much fun time looking for things. Oh, look at that. It's a sliver of metal right there. Tiny little piece. Man, who needs a gold monster? This is tiny. Yep, that's it, folks. That little piece right there. All right, let's continue. All right, I got a target here. We're going to use our Garrett pinpointer. We have a target right here. Okay, let's check that out. There it is. It's iron trash. All right, let's continue on. Okay, we're getting into some interesting material now. The ground's becoming very silent. So I'm getting into a more reddish orange, more mineralized ground. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some samples. You notice here, look at that. This material here is very gravelly and much darker, so we're going to take some samples. Put this through a sluice box this afternoon, see if we get any color. All right. Okay, spent a little bit of time digging. Got a target right here. Let's dig that puppy out. Okay, got it in a scoop. Getting pretty tight in this hole. Could be here. Let's take a look. I think I tossed it. Okay, let's ground balance this puppy. Got a ground balance. Okay, interesting. Give me a second here to find out what this is. Okay, finally got it in a scoop. Something really small. I don't think it's gold. Sometimes you get these pesky little objects, and I don't know. Let's figure it out. Still in here. Oh, okay. It's a piece of metal right here. Tiny, tiny little piece. Yeah, there it is. Look at that thing. Tiny piece of metal. All right, well, if we're getting that, we're not going to miss any gold. Right? Absolutely. All right, let's continue. Okay, I just got another target. I have it in the scoop. Uh-oh. I dropped it. All right, time to find it again. There it is. Somewhere here. I got to fix that. I got to fix that crack in the scoop. Yeah, I think I got it. You can spot the metal. It's usually darker than the surrounding soil. See it? Okay, well, it is what it is. Wouldn't know unless we dug it up, right? Okay, let's continue. This is interesting. Right when you think you're at the bottom, right at the thing, you know, it's all compact and hard. I call it false bedrock. You get slate and shale this big. So, continues going downward. All right, I'm gonna take some samples out of this with the bucket and sluice it later. But first, let's take a little break. Now I just have to figure out how to get out of this hole. All right. Whoa. Let's grab a little bite to eat and hydrate. And then what we're gonna do, you can see there's the hole. We're gonna go a little bit forward, a little bit backward, just expand this hole a bit. But I'm gonna take this bucket back into the truck, and I'm gonna bring an empty bucket. I'm gonna take more material out of there, and then I'm gonna sluice it. I'm really curious to see what kind of gold that's in there. Just in case you're curious what I'm having for a lunch break or break. Peanut butter and honey. Doesn't look great, but it sure has a lot of carbs and sugars. Give a little bit more energy to keep digging. So, yeah. All right. Okay, sample bucket 2. See what we get. We'll test the first one out, and then we'll put this one through and see if we're getting some fines down in there. I would think so. All right, I think that's a good sample. All right, let's continue on. Okay, I've come to a realization right here. I've dug myself in a hole here, and we have an incline here, a slope. I can't throw any more up there. Haven't found anything here. I'm gonna test out the material at the bottom for fine gold. But from now on, I'm just gonna go, you see from here, the distance is 10, maybe 20 feet. I'm gonna go back on the other side and work my way up towards here and continue on through this poison oak and then work this bench right here. Because if I go back there, I could start hitting it. I could start throwing material on a rock, building a wall. Right here, I'm pretty much stuck in a hole, as you would say. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go from where I left off and continue on and dig this stuff out. All right, see you there. See, over here we have space. We have space to dump it over here. We have space to backfill behind us like we did last 70 feet. And I also have space here to work into this tailing pile in front of me, and go forward and, reach the hole that we just did, the test hole. Anyhow, I'm going to start digging some of this stuff and scanning it, seeing it on the first target. Interesting over here, you see the bedrock right there, how it slopes right up the hill. And if you look at this rock, I think they literally busted the heck out of those pieces. See how it goes inward? They tore that apart. They worked this thing pretty hard. And then you notice the rocks that I'm tossing, those are just the pieces that they busted off. And that fell back in, after many, many years. And then this is the site right here, this side. They stacked it and threw the overburden behind there. Yeah, man, it's interesting. Once you dig this gully and, you follow their diggings and their footsteps, you actually see what they've done. There's no way you could see it from the surface. When this wasn't dug, you wouldn't know what was underneath here. It's kind of interesting. Anyhow, I'm just continue digging this out right here. Haven't found any targets yet, but maybe in a minute. Okay, folks, it's been 2 hours since I've had a target. I think we have a target. We have a target. Do we have a target? Let's take a look. Oh, come on. Thought I had a target. Well, Shrexcology, maybe I have to ground balance it. Well, let me check. Give me 1 second. Well, apparently I did have a target. And it must be in a scoop. Tiny sound. Gosh darn it. I see it. It's a piece of metal. Must be off my pick. Right there. Well, it is what it is. All right, we got to continue. Well, I've been at this for 6 hours, folks, and nothing today. Not much trash. Not much of anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go do a wrap up, and then we're going to take the buckets, put it through a sluice box, pan it out, and see if there are any finds in here. And we'll come back to this another day. See you soon, folks. All right. Wrap up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a few bits of metal. Not a whole lot today. We're going to head back and we're going to put that material through the sluice, pan it out, and see if we get any finds. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you soon. Okay, we got our little royal sluice box here, a little high banker. We're going to run our material through here. And we're going to do the gray bucket first. I don't have a whole lot of volume of water here, but I'm just going to do it slow. And it's running pretty good, as far as I'm concerned. And then once we run this bucket through, we're going to pan it out, and then we'll see if we get any finds in there. I'm not classifying, I'm just throwing it in there, and we're going to see what we get. All right, let's pan it out, see what we get. So we got a little bit of fine sand to get rid of, and then we'll do a look-see in there and see what we get. That's the first bucket. Yep. We don't want to lose anything. There's some black sands in there, obviously. That's what you want to see at the bottom of your pan. When the blonde sands are out, you want to see the black sand. And once you get to the black sand, you want to slow it down. There we go. I don't know if you see it, but there's a lot of fine gold in there. There's a few pieces right here, a little bit bigger pieces, and fine gold all throughout there. Let's see if you see that? All right. Let's try out the second bucket. Now what I like to do is, when I have my dirt in the bucket, I like to put water in there, because if you take dry material and put it in water, gold can't float. Small pieces of fine gold will float on top, and you could lose it right out your tray. Even though I have this, you see how I have this pretty much inclined? It's kind of major slope here. It's because I want to get through the material real quick. But if you get it wet, it's going to prevent those flakes from falling out. And all right, let me run this baby through here. Look at that chocolate. You got to work it with your hand. Got to get dirty, guys. All right, let's run this bucket through. See how it's wet? This material is very clayish, so I'm going very, very slow. Clay can rob your sluice box of gold, so you got to go really, really slow. Let it rinse out, and you continue. All right, second bucket, the green bucket. This material here came from a little lower than the previous one. So let's see what we get here. Stratify, remember, keep the pan flat. Shake it, turn it, sideways, around, doesn't matter. Do that for a little bit. Get rid of the water. 1, 2, 3, repeat. All right, we're down to the nitty-gritty here. I do see a buckshot here. Piece of lead. Oh, there is a little bit of gold down in there. I'm not sure if you see it with the camera, but it's right here. Just very, very fine. All right. Seems to be maybe a little less, about the same, maybe a little bit less than the other one. Let's put it all together and see what we get. All right, here we go. If you focus on the lead pellet, you'll see the gold in there. There it is. Yeah, a few finds. So we do have some finds in there. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you in the next hunt. And wherever you are, have a great evening. Or if you're waking up, have a great morning. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.